Legend Sugar Ray Leonard said his words of picking Mikey Garcia versus Errol Spence were taken out of context.
Boy, if you don't get...
What's good, y'all? It's your boy Game of Pound for Pound, aka Go P for P. So let's get straight to it, man. Sugar Ray Leonard continues to dance around the fact that he chose Mikey Garcia to pick Errol Spence simply because he's Mikey Garcia. Man, this is one of the most horrible attempts I've seen to dance your way out of a tight spot, man. This is horrible, man. And a lot of these legends are coming back, such as George Foreman, and Sugar Ray, and they're trying to dance their way and apologize their way out of the question. Out of the stance that they took before the bout took place, and Errol is straight on some savage Drake mob ties. It's too late for all that lovey-dovey shh. I'm your brother shh. All that other shh, man. This guy's going to straight savage mode, man. And I love it, man, because one of the reasons I was pointing when I was speaking of Sugar Ray Leonard. The way he chose Mikey Garcia was distasteful for this simple reason, man. And I didn't want to get into the politics and all that before the fight because I'm a fan of both fighters, and I had no issues initially with Sugar Ray Leonard picking Mikey Garcia. It's the way that he chose when asked why. The guy simply said because Mikey Garcia is Mikey Garcia. That's simply implying that Mikey was all around better than Errol everything, and regardless of the weight, regardless of him moving up weight and all of that he was going to figure it out because he could outsmart and outdo Errol. Period. No matter how you try to slice it, that's what he was aiming when he said that. And it turns out that we found out Errol was better at everything all around. Period. You can make these guys the same weight class, all things being all, and Errol's style is superior to Mikey's style. He showed he had the higher IQ. He didn't hurt and stagger and slap Mikey around where it was just abuse, like he abused him as far as hurting him to the point where he was unable to defend himself. He was defensively responsible the entire night. That's how he survived. The thing is, Errol was just too much for him, and I knew that his motor would be too much and overwhelming for Mikey Garcia. But I was still respectful towards Mikey for taking this fight, and I knew it would be a heavy risk, and that was the risk, was Errol's motor and Errol's ability to break his opponents down. Now, I give props to Mikey for surviving. He definitely did that. And he was able to roll some of the punches and take some steam off. And he took some by bracing for some of the ones he's seen coming that he could not get out of the way of. So he gets credit for that. But the way that Errol Spence outclassed him, I don't think anyone's seen it to this level, except for maybe the ones like, that had been previously in the gyms with Errol. And they were trying to warn us, man. If you look at how they praised Errol for his fighting Floyd or sparring Floyd in the past, they speak of how he was able to think on the level of Floyd Mayweather and box with him, not walking him down and being brutalizing him. And the way that Errol came and approached this particular fight, man, shows that this guy has a lot that he's been keeping away. And I think it was strategically being done because he wanted to use that particular fighting style to trap some of these bigger names. But I think his reputation preceded him, got to these other guys in the welterweight division, and it stopped those guys from getting in the ring with Errol. That's exactly what I think has gone on here. I think that they knew that it was more to his game, and that walking down, being more of a fan-friendly style is something that he was trying to use to make, let's say, a Keith Thurman or a Sean Porter or a Danny Garcia feel like, oh, okay, yeah, this guy's one-dimensional. Let me get in the ring with him and show him what time it is. And he was gonna put on his display later on against one of these other guys, which is why he wanted a name to do this with. But it turned out Mikey turned out to be the perfect opportunity as far as the stage. The opponent, that's another thing, but the stage was right. So Errol completely, he used that platform to show that who he is. And I think he still has a lot to show, and that's the scary part of it all. Him and Bud Crawford, man, I would love to see that particular fight, man. I would love to see it. And I want to see him with the other welterweights, top guys in the division, and potentially move up after, unifying and going for a disputed if he can achieve that. What I had to say as far as you know, you got the Ray Leonards, the Mike Tysons, and the George Foremans, going against the grain, like Errol said. I mean, that's nothing new, man. It's sad. And I'm not saying we should accept it, man, but it is what it is at this point, because the only thing you can go out here is show and prove, that you've learned from the mistakes of the past of those that come before you, man. And it is what it is as far as those guys, man. Are they cooning to a degree, or shucking and jiving, or whatever, dancing for a paycheck? That may very well be what it is, man. But I'm not gonna get caught up in that for reasons of my own, man. I'm interested in seeing these fighters go pound for pound, man. That's my thing here. And by going for pound, that's simply paraphrasing, going the best, fighting the best, and seeking out to fight the best competition that's available to you. That's how you go pound for pound in my eyes. I know some people may be knocked off in the game of pound for pound, and we may not see the potential matchups that we all crave to see. But if you're fighting the best competition out there, man, we're always going to be in entertaining fights. Always going to see, top competition and top level fights, man, that we can all get behind and back. I look forward to seeing Errol in the ring soon. I look forward to seeing Mikey again. Don't get me wrong. Mikey's still one of my guys, man. And as far as the rest of the welterweight division, man, these guys got to step up. These guys have to step up, man. Errol was able to get this opportunity simply because these guys chose not to fight him. And I can't be mad at a guy for sitting there being patient and paying his dues, and these guys continue to do what they do, politic against him, and he chose to go with the beneficial part of his career. Yes, I want to see him and Bud in the ring. I definitely do. And if anything, I feel like these quote-unquote legends and stuff like that need to be pushing for Errol and Bud to fight, or Errol or the other welterweights in the division to step in the ring with Errol. That's what the politics need to be about. That's what they need to be pressing for. Not talking bad about a guy, or choosing against him simply because such and such is such and such. Like that is a slap in the face, man. That is a slap in the face. Like that's crazy. But I sense it may be some jealousy, and it wouldn't surprise me, man. Maybe Sugar Ray felt like, maybe he felt like because Duran moved up and beat him that, he favored Mikey from that aspect. Who knows? But it is what it is at this point, man. I'm glad that Errol's out here reading these guys their rights, man. Man, he completely verbally assassinated and outclassed De La Hoya. Man, what he did to George Foreman, what he did to De La Hoya on Twitter was classic. What he did to George Foreman on Twitter was classic, man. Straight told the guy, man, you look out, man. You said this guy would beat me 9 times out of 10, man. Like, come on, move around. Like, straight up, bro. That's some straight mob ties, man. Like I said, man, it's too late for all that lovey-dovey all that other straight up, man. But anyway, man, let me know what you guys think. It's your boy, Go P for P. Hit that like button, subscribe, man, and comment below, man. Till the next one, I'm out.